Okay, this is Tony, Fire Dude, back again here. Going to go over the camera mount for the Big Lama that we've done. I believe the other admin, Rob, best known as Spooner, will post some pics of his cam mount on our Facebook site, which is linked below in the item description. But basically what you want is a nice rigid piece of plastic that's fairly rigid. Okay, and then we've got some nice double-sided tape here. This is 3M. It's not as strong and thin as servo tape. This is like a semi-permanent mount. What we've done, and I'll show you, is this is just stuck between the skids. That's it. Using a strip of this tape to put on the skid on each side, and then the plastic piece goes down against the skid. Okay, and it's on there. It doesn't wiggle much, but if you have to take it off, the nice thing about this 3M tape that you can get at Ace Hardware anywhere is you can work it off, peel off the tape if you have to take the cam mount off for some reason, and then put it back on with new strips of tape. So you put your strips of tape right in here, right in there, just the width of the skid, whether it's super skid or stock skids, and then you put that on there. Now the cam itself, you can see, is attached to this, and what we do here is you go to any hardware store, and this is a real thin, dense foam, and what this is from wall socket insulation foam. Yeah, very inexpensive, but it's wall socket insulation foam. And so what you want to do is cut you a piece to fit your plastic rigid mount for your cam, and take a piece of this on the back side of that foam and simply stick it to the mount, just like we've done here. You can see right in here, you can see the foam that I'm talking about. And then here's the plastic piece right here that I showed you, and it's mounted right here. We've used a small Velcro strap. You can use a rubber band, but whatever you want that camera tight. You don't want it moving, wobbling, moving back and forth. You want it tight. Okay, so it's real easy to do, actually. And the other thing that we did on the cam mount, you've seen our videos, most of them are just smooth as silk. Just, I mean, no vibrations at all. What we've also done is taken a small pieces of this wall plate backing foam, whatever you want to call it, and you can see it's very thin, but it's very dense and absorbs vibrations. We've cut a piece out and put it between the skid and the where it screws in, and we've done that also in the front, right under the battery mod plate right there. So a strip of the foam there in the front, and a strip of the foam in the back. In the back, it's where it screws down to your skids, and in the front, it goes just under. It goes between your skid and the frame. You don't want the foam up here where your battery's got to slide in. And what that does is that absorbs a lot of vibration from the main frame and really clears your video up good. Sometimes you don't need that. It just depends on the particular helicopter. So again, it's just a matter of getting you a piece of rigid plastic, cut you a strip to fit the deal there, your mount, and cut the foam to match. And once that's all there, you already taken the two strips of foam and put them on the bottom of the tape rather, I'm sorry, put them on the bottom of the skids there. So now you've already got this with the foam mounted to it, and then you just simply take it and stick it on there and press it real firm and let it set up. This is a little thicker than servo tape, and it's kind of a gel type stuff, and like I say, unlike servo tape, it's easy to remove if you have to for some reason. And when you get your cam in there, you want a little bit of offset where the cam is pointing slightly down. Otherwise, you're going to pick up the canopy. You can pick up the canopy, and you've got to center it and test it. to make sure you're not, you know, it's centered. You're not picking up one skid or the other, or what have you. The other thing is, if you notice, the camera's mounted upside down. Well, it's real easy in Windows 7 Essentials with Movie Maker. You're filming upside down the whole time you're flying. But in Windows Movie Maker and Windows Essential and most software, you can flip the video, and that's all we do, is we just film flying upside down and we flip the video. If you mounted the camera right side up, you wouldn't be able to get to the buttons and stuff to turn the camera off and on and what have you. So it's a pretty easy mount. Really, all you need is a roll of this red 3M tape here, and what's it say, 3M BHB. Any hardware store, Miners or Ace Hardware, any of those should have it. Find you a small piece of heavy plastic that's not very flexible and fairly rigid, and then the wall socket insulation foam again at most hardware stores, very thin but very dense, and will pick up and capture all the vibrations. So that's all you really need is the foam for the wall socket insulation, a rigid piece of plastic, and your tape. And again, one more time, you put a strip of tape across your skid here. Don't cover your screws, and a strip across the back. Cut your foam, put it on there with tape, cut it to match your plastic thing, and then just simply stick it on there and press it and hold it firm and let it set. And once that's done, then your cam's ready to go. Again, we've used a small double-sided Velcro strap. You can use rubber bands, but when you do it, before you stick it on the helicopter, I'd suggest mounting the cam to the plate before you mount the plate to the skids with the adhesive tape. But make sure the camera is tight and doesn't wiggle, doesn't wobble, doesn't wiggle back and forth. You want it really tight, okay? And you want to mount it back far enough so when your battery's in there, the back of the battery tray here on the battery mod doesn't rest on that tape, because if you get vibrations for some reason or it bounces, which it doesn't bounce much, but you don't want it touching and have it transferring vibrations to the to your strap or the rubber bands or hitting the plate. By putting in this extra installation here on your skids here, the same stuff, it also drops your skids down just a tiny bit, and also allows for more clearance between your battery mod and your plate, so you don't have to worry about it hitting it. So it's a real easy modification to do, and again, you want a little bit of offset. What I've done is wedged a little piece of soft foam in the front of the camera to get my offset. Spooner, what he's done is used a washer up front to drop the front of the skids down just enough so you don't pick up the front of your canopy. If you have lights in it and stuff like that, you'll pick up the front of the canopy and see vibrations, and we like a nice clear video with a view unobstructed. So it's pretty easy to do. The cameras are great. You can see compared to the Hobby King wing camera, we think they're just as good, if not better. And they're what, $29. You get everything with it. And again, in the link for the camera to one of the best dependable eBay sellers in China is in the item description below. Yeah, great camera, and it explains the button. You get full instructions with it. It's really easy to figure out how to do. But basically, that's all there is to it. There's just three things you need. You need the camera, obviously. You need your wallpaper, your wall socket, insulator foam, a rigid piece of plastic, and your double-sided tape to mount it all together. And then once it's mounted, it's on there. And also, when you place your cam, you want to make sure you want to try to catch it right center under the shaft, because any vibrations you have generally travel outward from the center of gravity. So the closer you get your camera to the center of gravity, or I should say perpendicular to the shaft, midway, is a big benefit. It will reduce vibrations in the camera quite a bit. So really, that's it for the camera. I believe Rob Spooner will post some pics of his in the on our Facebook site, and a link to our Facebook page with tech tips and stuff like that is also linked below in the item description of the video here. But yeah, we'll be back with some more tech tips as we move along here. All of our ships are set up to fly with DX6Is, the Spectrum transmitter. They have the standard eSky 3-in-1 controller, and this one has an AR61 E, and the other two ships I have the orange RCs, and they do fly much better with the Spectrum transmitters because you have more control over the dual rates, the DR and Expo, and it just makes it a little bit easier to fly once you get a little bit more advanced and understand what all those things are for. But there's the cam mount, how we do it, and how we get our video so smooth. And again, you know, if you like it, please click like, and thanks for watching.